You're listening to the Platte River Bard.
Here we go. Hello, and welcome to the Platte River Bard. This is Chris Berger.
And I'm Sherry Berger.
And we are here today with Ryan Kathman. He is a director. We are here with Carter Fangmeyer. He is the assistant director, and they are directing Romeo and Juliet, punk rock. That is a Flatwater Shakespeare, and they are putting this on starting August 7th at the Wyuka Stables.
In Lincoln.
Gentlemen, we are doing
Welcome.
this virtually. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
And this sounds like a really fun version of Romeo and Juliet because, you know, we see so much Romeo and Juliet. So this sounds like something different and more innovative than what we normally get to see.
Yes, I've not heard of punk rock Romeo and Juliet.
That's the hope. Yeah, that was certainly the aim from the beginning when the new artistic director, Aaron Sawyer, asked me, number one, if there was a title that I was interested in directing. I've gotten to work on this script 4 times before this one, but I've never gotten to fully direct it before. So I've acted in it 3 times, and I worked on the stage combat for it another time. But
Okay.
But yeah, he did say, like, you know, do you have a concept for something that would be more likely to attract new audiences to Shakespeare? Is there something that might, you know, pull in younger folks and have a broader appeal? And this was something that's just kind of kicked around in the back of my head for a long time. I've never really fleshed it out for myself to, you know, it's like any idea. You kind of have to kick the tires and see, like, is this really hold up and stand up to scrutiny? And I was really pleased to kind of, the more I thought about it, the more we kind of created the world, especially the more I studied and researched a little bit about the late 70s in New York and the burgeoning punk scene that came out of it, the more it seemed to, you know, hold water as an idea for this story. As a, you know, the basic example is that 2 of the major punk clubs in New York in that time were CBGB's and the Mud Club. And considering they both start with the same letter as Capulets and Montagues, that immediately started to feel like something that could work as, like, these 2 rival, you know, punk music venues, even though in real life they weren't all that combatant or anything.
Right. They were, trying to,
so
kill each other.
Yeah. But it really, where it started for me was just the idea that it needs to be a volatile, heated, you know, environment. It needs to be a place where it's the dead of summer. You know, think of like late 70s New York, Summer of Sam, and just, you know, all these kind of intense situations. And
it's a dangerous place.
Yeah, and so it felt
late 70s New York is a dangerous place.
That's what they say. I was quite young. I don't know, but anyway, that's where it started. And what I couldn't have anticipated is how much everybody on the team has really helped me flesh it out and brought a bunch of cool new ideas that have just made the world make more sense every step of the way. So it's been a lot of fun.
And I know, Ryan, one of your specialties is fight choreography. Does that apply here to this as well?
Are you also doing the fight choreography, or are you having somebody else do it?
I did get the chance to take the lead on it, but I've been lucky that Carter's one of my former students. He's taken classes with me, and he's done some other work. He's done some choreography himself, so he helped along the way. We had a couple of people in the cast who had some experience in training, and they've helped be fight captains. So definitely, we were fortunate all the way through. Really, I couldn't believe it when auditions were completed, how, you know, just the right people showed up for just the right roles.
Nice.
And that includes people's ability to, you know, do stage combat well. So in this version, instead of, you know, rapiers and daggers and epee blades, we're using knives. Yeah, we're going for more of a knife fight. So we've got switchblades and butterfly knives, and it's a little more down and dirty, you know, street fight kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is this your first assistant directing situation, or maybe the first with Flatwater?
Yeah, it's actually not. I had the pleasure of working on a few projects both in college and past college. I worked with devising an entirely new show from the ground up with the cast. It's called The Rest in Power. It was an excellent experience, and it really teaches you to think on your feet when there's not even a script to guide you. So that was an awesome
No
experience.
kidding.
And then here at Flatwater, it will be my first time assistant directing, and then directing in the fall. So I'm very excited to be able to lend my skills, education, and training, and work with all the wonderful people who have kept Flatwater going.
Yeah, that's great. And you get to learn so much from Ryan.
Yes,
So on top of it all,
both in and
but
outside of the
well,
classroom, it's
Uh,
excellent.
yeah. I mean, yes, that's a great opportunity. No, I know Ryan's very humble,
Yes, he
but
is. He's going,
but that is
he's trying to all
that's a
shucks it
great
off.
opportunity.
he's graduated, so he's officially teaching. And
That's right.
we can drop the ruse. Know anything just because they let me teach it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
No, it's good, man.
And I don't think we stated it, but you are a professor at Wesleyan. I don't think we said Wesleyan.
Oh,
right?
yes, that's right. No, yes, he is
Right?
currently professor at Wesleyan.
that's
Yeah.
Wesleyan. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I teach acting and directing there. And was it's it had been like 3 or 4 years since I had been able to direct any Shakespeare, and then I did get to do The Tempest just this past spring at Wesleyan.
Yeah.
But before that, it had actually been about a little over 4 years, and then to get to jump right into this after that, I feel spoiled because it's definitely my favorite kind of material to work on. So
And I've been really impressed with Wesleyan's theater department
wow,
just because
yeah.
of the sheer amount of productions that you seem to be able to do in a year. Not every university is like that because I watch them, so I notice the difference.
Oh, my God.
That you have so many productions going all the
I
time.
appreciate that. I appreciate the plug, and I think that people, especially students who are considering a BFA, I hope they take a close look at us. I mean, Carter can speak to what it's like to try to maintain that schedule and have so many opportunities, and what hopefully what the benefit of that is, if there is any.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every show that we put on is another opportunity for every crew member and every actor that is studying to do this as a profession has to get on the stage in front of a real local audience, right? And that professional experience of putting the whole thing together is really valuable because you can sit and study, Shakespeare theory all day in class, but to some degree it melts away when you get up on that stage. There's new things you have to learn all the time. So it very much teaches you excellent time management. It teaches you how to work with people, and I'm extremely grateful to have had the chance to work on so many different and disparate projects.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I'm sure you just work on as much as you want, as often as you want, because there's so much going on. I did not have that experience. Well, what a great experience that would have
Yeah,
been.
it'd be a great experience.
But I mean, everybody. I gotta say, everybody I've worked with from Wesleyan, I've always been impressed with. So that's always been consistent.
So on Punk Rock Romeo and Juliet, I did see some clips, and I know you've got some punk rock in the background, so you've got some live music in this production.
Yes, is it sort of musical like, or is it with music?
Yeah, I would say it's more the latter.
Okay.
Shakespeare certainly, especially with his comedies, puts a lot of music in there a lot of times. Not so with this one. There weren't any songs that were already kind of scripted that needed to be addressed in some way. So we just took the opportunity. You can't say that you're setting a show in a punk rock world without trying to have some kind of punk rock music. So we were fortunate again in that when we had these auditions, so many talented Shakespearean actors also happened to be able to play power chords and or sit behind a drum set. And so
Sweet.
we basically got a really core trio of a guitar, bassist, and drummer, but we have some vocalists too. So there's about 5 people who are performing live music throughout the show. And I say throughout, I mean, it's sparing. We got a couple of songs at the beginning, one at the very end. But at the same time, we're playing quite a bit of classic punk rock songs from the late 70s as transition songs and things just kind of between. So you'll get to be immersed in that sound quite a bit when seeing the show, which is, again, I've been very pleased with how much I feel like it fits with a show that is so much about, young passionate love and old passionate hate kind of colliding. And yeah.
Yes. Carter, was this your first sort of experience with the punk rock, 70s punk rock scene and a lot of this music? Was this the first time you
Oh
hearing a lot of this
yeah.
music?
It's
I guess
definitely
it
the
would be, huh?
deepest dive I've taken into it. I'll tell you that.
For
But
sure.
I mean, there's classics where we get everybody knows Blitzkrieg Bop, and I'm just sitting and jamming out as all the actors do an excellent
Sweet.
rendition of every song that they get to do up there on the stage. So definitely
That's
for
awesome.
younger people, it's an exciting thing to connect so viscerally both to a sound and to a culture of images that time was.
Yeah.
So it's a blast, and it's a blast learning about all the crazy stuff going on in 1970s New York.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
no
probably
kidding.
lean most heavily towards the Ramones, Sex Pistols, but there's also I was really pleased with how many discovering for myself how many female-led groups and soloists there were from that time. There's
Mm-hmm.
Joan Jett and the Runaways and Blondie and
Pat
Patti Smith. We
Benatar.
have several. So there's some there's
Mm.
a good mix and a bunch of groups I had never heard of before, like Bad Brains. I didn't really know the Dead
Oh,
Kennedys,
yeah.
but yeah. So
Oh,
me,
yeah.
I've just kind of gotten to live inside that world for the last couple of months, and
Yeah.
That's
it's been
great.
a lot of fun and very angsty. Yeah.
Yes.
And is this kind of an unusual production for Flatwater to do in the sense of a reimagined type
Hmm.
Shakespeare story, or is this a little bit out of the norm, or is it common to do something that's a little bit reimagined?
I mean, I've been fortunate to be kind of in and out of Flatwater since it started. Before they even had a name, I remember in 2003, just to date myself, I played Laertes in a production of Hamlet that they did at the Haymarket, and it was Bob Hall who really started the company. And the very next year, they officially kind of named it. So I've acted in a couple shows, and This is my second time directing for them. I would say that they are very eclectic. So they've absolutely had productions like this where they've really specified a time and place and kind of filled it with a certain culture. And then I've seen plenty of shows where they've really stripped it all down and just made it more minimalist and focused on the language. So
Mm-hmm.
it really just depends, I guess, on the director and the artistic director and kind of what the vision is. But I wouldn't say it's totally out of out of character.
Right.
There's the biggest thing is there's just a limit because of the space we are. There's a limit to what you can do in terms of spectacle. It's really cool space. Everybody should go see a show there if you can. The Wyuka Stables.
Yeah, I've
Mm.
not been.
I've
Yeah,
Yeah,
seen.
yeah, yeah. Talk to you about a little bit about the space
sure.
if you guys have seen it because I've not been to this space. It sounds
Yeah.
really neat.
I mean, I'll let Carter explain it a little bit since he was giving a tour of it to our actors today because it was
Oh,
Hey,
our
yeah,
first time
cool.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a little beautiful stable set kind of in the entranceway to the wider cemetery at Wyuka. And it is an old historic building, so much so that the state takes care of it as a historic site here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh wow.
And it's this old brick laid courtyard with the stables all around, and beautiful big barn doors that enter into it. And they've done some work remodeling and creating sort of an event space for it. So there's a couple of lobbies, rooms where people can host events, and where we're very, very grateful to be able to stage Shakespeare in. And it just creates this
Neat.
wonderful, intimate environment to be right there with the actors out in the cold rain today, as it were, or in the heat of the
Yeah,
summer, and
yeah.
to really share that experience with the audience. It's a very unique space, and it's a blast working in it.
I'm probably
wonderful.
being too poetic, but there's just something really elemental and about Shakespeare, and it just feels right to be done in the open air, to be done out in and to
Yeah,
still have this
it
enclosure
does.
around us, so we're not like in a field
Yeah.
somewhere.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
really helpful too. It means the sound. We don't have to wear mics. We can really just bounce our voice around the walls of the stable. but
Cool.
yeah, you're you're in the elements, and so we have to
Yeah.
deal with the fact that we had some drizzle today for our tech rehearsal. We managed,
Yeah.
but since they've done the renovation, you still have this nice air conditioned lobby with nice bathrooms and facilities, but you go out to that courtyard, like he said, and it does feel like stepping into another time, which makes it feel a little more Elizabethan, even though we're doing this kind of punk rock thing. But
Right.
but hopefully our minimal scenery with some graffiti and some trash cans and different things, it'll make it feel like you're looking at two outdoor stages kind of facing each other, one being the Capulet side, one being the Montague side, and we're kind of treating that like our location for most of the scenes.
It's a fun
That
little
is
bit of
really interesting.
trivia too, that the space almost evokes the Globe Theatre itself in
Yeah, I was just
London.
gonna say
You've
that.
got the seating
Yeah.
outside, and it's a full and around, and then you've got a stage
Mm-hmm.
out in front that thrusts into the audience. So just kind of funny how
Very nice.
Yeah.
the small things work out like that for a perfect space for Shakespeare.
Yeah, I can see why Flatwater would want to do something
Yeah.
there, because I was
Really
just
neat.
thinking that myself, that it was
Really
inside
neat.
and outside
Yeah.
originally.
What
Yeah.
what a neat space. Yeah. What a cool space.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Oh, I love the idea that it's reimagined too. It just keeps things kind of fresh. And so if you've seen, there's so many Romeo and Juliets
Well,
out
yeah,
there.
and that's
So
a
it's
common thing with
nice to see it
Shakespeare,
different.
and Shakespeare is so mutable, malleable that way. You can take him in different sort of ways, and out of his time period and in different time periods, and it kind of seems to work still.
Yeah, one of the things about this script that always, I guess, bugged me a little bit when I would see some other productions is that we all know that the younger characters are hot-headed and are easily turn to anger and turn to violence and things like that. But so often, because they come from these wealthy families, the older characters are portrayed as quite hoity-toity, very upper crust, upper class, nice suits, or depending if you're doing it in period dress, these beautiful gowns or whatever. And but we have in the very opening scene, the Lord Capulet and Lord Montague both come out and they want to jump into the brawl. They say, like, give me my sword, give me my blade, let me get it out there. Now their wives prevent them from doing that, but I kind of took that as like a sign that instead of having the parents be really wealthy families, that they are just the club owners. They're the venue owners of the Mud Club and the CBGBs, and therefore they also are a little punk rock themselves too. So it allows everybody to be, not have as much difference in class or status, but
Yeah.
everybody is, kind of down and dirty, and my favorite thing about it is it has loosened up the actors in their bodies in a way. It's like I found this hidden key. You're always trying to get people, especially young people doing Shakespeare, you're always trying to get them to not just act from the neck up. And just saying you're a punk rock kid, I just see them all just kind of loosen up, relax, and they're more grounded. They're more kind of ready to
Yeah.
rumble, and yeah. So it's a nice way to lose some of the fancy schmancy. This is all poetry, and we have to be really
Yes.
stiff about it. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, how fun. What a fun production, and what a fun venue to do this in. I love the ideas of doing this. And I know you have some upcoming auditions for the Merry Wives of Windsor, and that's the one that Carter's going to direct. Is it going to also be at the Wyuka Stables?
Yeah, I'm excited to announce that that is at least a third true. We're taking Merry Wives on a tour. We'll be going
Oh,
through
a
Lincoln
tour.
Parks, and if all goes well, which I believe it is and it will, we'll also be visiting Omaha with this production, touring some
Oh, that'll
parts
be
in Omaha.
wonderful.
So we're hoping to kind of bridge that gap
Cool.
and provide Shakespeare to everyone that we can. So the further we can travel, the better.
Yay.
And then
That's
we'll
great.
kind of ground ourselves at Wyuka for the last week of the show. It's very exciting to be able
Yeah.
to explore it in so many different spaces.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds like a perfect space for it. That's awesome. Oh, I'm so excited.
That's
And
all. Yeah.
so I've looked. All I know is that it opens August 7th.
Mhm.
How many weekends does it go? What is the schedule for it?
It is currently running 2 weeks. We'll run the weekend of Thursday, August 7th through the 10th, and then the next weekend as well, all the way through Sunday. Um,
It's at
it's
7 p.m. every night.
7 p.m. every night. Yep, yep.
Oh, even Sundays.
Yeah.
Even Sundays. Yeah.
Okay.
So Friday,
got it.
Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, that's to avoid the heat of the day. Not doing those matinees on
Yeah.
the.
Fair
yeah,
enough.
so
Yeah, it is in
it's
August.
nice.
So the
It
7th
cools
through-
off generally, and especially as the sun starts to set. Around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, is right around the show is going to wrap up. We're doing pretty well. We're keeping it. At the beginning, Shakespeare says the 2 hours traffic of our stage. I think we're going to be with the intermission 2 hours and 15 minutes. So we're pretty close.
Sweet.
That's actually a really nice length, I
Yeah.
think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be August 7th through the 10th and the 14th through the 17th.
That's correct.
7 p.m. every night. Okay.
Okay, for sure.
So you have a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Well, we wish you lots and lots of luck. I know you're going to break all the legs and have. It looks like you're having a lot of fun already. So
it's
it's
been more fun than I think any of us expected. I hope anyway. I really do think that for folks who are more purists, I guess, or more Shakespeare aficionados, they're going to enjoy.
Sure.
They're going to enjoy the ways that we've played with some of the lines to give it more of a contemporary feel. But for people who are in any way intimidated by Shakespeare, which we all were at some point or another.
Yes.
But for anyone who feels that way, I really think this is the perfect one to kind of get over that fear and recognize how universal and actually easy it is to understand and follow the story when good actors are telling it. So I really hope people will come check it out.
And I'd also love to encourage that, a lot of high schools read Romeo and Juliet as part of their scholarship. And Shakespeare, as beautiful as the poetry and text is, was meant to be heard. So this is a great opportunity for students who are just encountering the classroom to come feel it as well as read it.
That's true.
It's very different and very, very fun experience.
And let's be honest, it is messed up that that's the first play that high school students.
I know.
It's amazing, but it has the most inappropriate stuff for a 13 and 14-year-old kid to read out of all of his plays. Yeah.
I was in the other English teacher's class, and she started us with Julius Caesar, which I adore. Julius Caesar.
That was my second one. Yeah,
that was your second one. So we started with Julius Caesar, and then oh my god, and then in high school, my English teacher, Miss Miss Dunnington, did this to me. She's such a wonderful woman. But we read Hamlet one week, we read Macbeth the next week, and then we took a test on both of them the week after, and they are forever now the same play in my head, and I can't separate those two plays anymore. I'll never forgive her for that. I'm like, why did you do that to me?
Yeah.
Like, what character was that? Was that Macbeth?
Right.
You just picture Hambeth.
I've confused them so many times. Some people's like, no, that's the wrong play.
She ruined it forever for you.
Oh my god, hilarious. But yes, come see the play that we all had to read. It's true. In punk rock style, which is really awesome.
It is, especially for us that like the music of the 70s.
Yes, everything old is new again. Punk rock is cool again, and has been for a while. And it's just how things are.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'll just also mention, I think what people might not expect is how funny it is. I'm not the first person to note that the first half of the play is a comedy. Until somebody dies. Spoiler alert. People do die.
Right. It's Shakespeare.
Until that happens, it's very loose and funny, and it's based on an old commedia dell'arte kind of storyline and scenario of just two young kids who aren't supposed to be together, and they find shenanigans ensue as they figure out how to get together.
Right.
But then violence occurs, and it becomes a very different kind of play. But I think people will be surprised how really funny the characters are until that happens, and in some cases, even after people die, there's some funny stuff. I hope so.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you, gentlemen, very much for talking with us
Yeah.
over the
Absolutely.
internet. And next time we talk to you, we will do it in person for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We
Absolutely.
appreciate being able to do it this way. It was going to be tough for us because of the Tech Week demands and everything.
Right.
Yeah, and it's Tech Week. Tech Week's crazy.
Yeah, but this has been great, and we'll be excited to get to have people listen.
Yay.
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
Thank
you
you
very
so
much.
much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Punk Rock Romeo and Juliet opens August 7th at the Wyuka Stables in Lincoln and runs 2 weekends until August 14th. For tickets, go to flatwatershakespeare.org. Thank you for listening and supporting the arts in the Platte River area and beyond. Please subscribe to our podcast so you are sure to catch all of our future episodes and join us on social media. See you next time on the Platte River Bard.